I am always on the lookout for inspiration, and I had purchased these earrings. Hopefully you can see them decently well. I had purchased them, I think sometime last year, but I just remember really loving them because they're kind of pastel. They're very vibrant and fun, and if you did see last week's video, please check it out if you did not. But I really have been feeling like 80s makeup lately, so I thought it'd be super fun just to create a very kind of 80s inspired kind of look with the colors from this earring set. And just in case, because I know my lighting is not the best, I'm going to go ahead and pop the earrings up so that way you can see fully what they do look like. But let's go ahead and talk through real quick what products we're going to be using. First palette, this literally is going to be the core of the look. This is the Nueva Vida palette from Gourmand Girls in collaboration with Steph's Beauty Stash. Here is our color story. I mean, this just screams spring to me. Spring, summer, very like happy, bright vibes. I think that is something, too, that has really been attracting me to 80s makeup, at least some of it. There are so many different, like, styles in the 80s, which I completely love. But I think that I always feel so inspired by this super bright colorfulness, especially as a massive color lover myself. So that's really why I wanted to do this look today. And then another one, I'm just going to be pulling from Blend Bunny Alice. So this is the OG palette that Blend Bunny did with Alice. It is a ginormous palette, so what I really am pulling from this is that if the Nueva Vida doesn't have it, this palette will. Let me go ahead and probably get us zoomed in a bit, and then we'll go ahead and start with the look. What I'm really thinking is I want to have each color kind of have its moment. I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to do, but I think we're going to start off with this purple shade right here. It is honestly really bright, which in a way I love because I kind of want this to be a nice bright look. What I'm really thinking, because the earrings also do have a bit of black in them from like the cassette roll, is using that to do kind of like a wing liner. Still, again, I don't fully know, but let's just start with a little shade. And I'm thinking I'm going to start it on the outer corner. And then one goal I really have for this look this week is I really still want to keep it bright. I feel like last week's look, though I completely love it, went a bit deeper than I want it to be. I really want this one to still feel like spring. So that is really going to be the goal that we're going to try to accomplish. I'm thinking let's go ahead and take some of this blue shade. These are very pastel, so I do feel like they're showing up not the greatest. I'll try to have, if I can, a palette here on this side. It's not going to be the biggest, but so we can at least see more of what the colors are supposed to look like. And I really just want to mainly use that shade to go around the purple to help it to start blending out of it. And then something in me, I kind of did with my brows, I don't know if you're able to see it, really wants to mix the orange and the purple. I know that that is not supposed to mix, but it's, I don't know, it just seems like it's going to be a vibe. So I'm just going to take this orange right here, very bright, vibrant orange, and I'm just going to work that or start stamping that into the crease. To get the true and full pigmentation with these, I am really just going to be stippling to get it really pigmented. So I have spent a couple minutes just building up the shades a bit just because it wasn't as vibrant as I wanted to do or wanted it to be. So all I really did was just tap on extra color. I'm realizing using smaller brushes, like this kind of smaller, slightly dense brush, really just helped to lay the color out a lot better, and I'm loving it a lot more. I was getting kind of worried. I was like, it's looking a little muted, so I'm definitely happy that I did this step. Now let's go ahead and move on to another palette. So this is the Alice one, as I showed you. What I'm struggling with is the pink in these earrings is pretty soft. I wanted to fill pink because I'm really tempted to honestly use this shade right here, which is a pretty like bright pink. I am only going to use it between the orange and the purpley blue shade, so I think that should hopefully work and not be too crazy. I am going to use kind of a fluffy brush to do this step, and I just want to tap that shade on. I'm seriously so in love with, for one, how easy this 80s look so far has been able to build, but for two, just how, like, fun and colorful it is. Like, I'm really feeling inspired by color. And I think one thing, too, that I'm loving, that I did mention at the beginning of the video, is using color in a way that is bright and does feel like spring. Because though I love my darker kind of vibes, my last two videos, the look definitely went a bit deeper than I wanted it to be. And I really just want to experiment with keeping a look more bright like this. At least in my opinion, it feels very bright to me. Next, I really want to dip in with this really bright yellow. And I really want to focus that on the inner part of the eye. I'm tempted to do something on the brows because I really want it to be brighter. And then same kind of vibe. I'm just really just going to be placing this, stamping it on to get a really nice bright color. I'm going to go ahead and take the yellow. Hopefully it's not too much. Same brush. And I just want to brush it along the brow bone. I'm just going to dip in with a little bit of this blue to help it to really blend in together. I think what is honestly like pretty interesting with this look is I haven't done like an all matte look in a really long time. I'm tempted to take this shade Aurora because it has like a nice soft sheen to it. I think that works. So I'm feeling good about the eyes, but I feel insanely pale and I am not loving that. So let's go ahead, add some blush on. So up first, I'm going to be pulling Mermaid Magic by Gourmand Girls. I don't know if I want to do this and then this. I want to still keep the vibe of the eyes. So let's go ahead and take, is it Seashell? And just a dense blush brush. I'm going to start near the temples. And I really want to work this into the hairline. I'm also going to be blending it in a bit with some of the shadow. Dipping it with a super vibrant pink shade. And I want to place that kind of just next to it. I hope this is not too much, but I still want it to be kind of pink. I want this to kind of give like a flush to the face. Lastly, I do want to pull from the yellow. I really just am loving how bright this is. So I'm taking the beautiful Clown Blush palette from Likely Makeup. I don't even know if many of you would even know about this palette, but literally it's such a freaking beautiful palette. The colors in here are very pigmented. So I'm just going to be using a light hand. I'm going to use the same brush. The only shade I'm going to be using, if I didn't say, is Carnival, which is the yellow. I really just want to use it kind of as like a halo. Alright, here is the finished look, and I really, really love how this one came out. So fun, so easy, honestly, so definitely try this out if you really want to play with some color, but also do something really simple. I do feel like this is really giving spring vibes, and I'm all here for it, and I don't know, I love it. Let me know what you think down below. Please subscribe if you did enjoy this content, and I will see you on my next one. Okay, bye!